देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राधे भगवान ब्रजेश तनया श्रद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या कादित्युपासना व्रजमुनि वर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतम प्रमाणममलम प्रेम कुमार्तो महान श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु मतमिदं तत्रादरं परथा। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome once again all the devotees, and we are almost concluding the science of the soul. We are almost in the final verses. So Lord Krishna has been describing the soul from various angles and many times repeating so that we don't make a mistake in understanding that the soul is actually eternal and it has nothing to do with the body. So yeah, so many verses. Last time we saw that nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavaka na chainam kledayanti apo na shoshrayati ma. Arjun, nobody can pierce the soul. Nobody, fire cannot burn, weapons cannot cut. It's not cleavable. The water cannot moisten it, or the wind cannot dry it, because actually it is achityoyam adahyoyam akletyo shoshivacha nityah sarvagata sthano achaloyam sanatana. It's always existing, and it's insoluble, in unburnable, and uncleavable, insoluble, like that. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam abhikaryoyam uchati tasmadev vidityanam nanam suchitum arhasi. Therefore, again and again, Lord Krishna is encouraging that why you are lamenting. This is answering Arjuna's first query, that Arjuna said that I should show compassion, I should not kill them. So Lord Krishna is pointing out where you are killing them. Why do you think you are killing them? You are not killing them at all. Why you are uselessly lamenting? This is the function of a Shudra. Shudra laments unnecessarily. You have never killed anyone. Why you are lamenting? So repeatedly keeps on saying, Nanam Sochitam. You do not deserve to lament. You are Arya. You are from the Vedic culture. How can you do like that? And then he talked with the atheistic philosophy also. Atha chainam nityajatam nityam va manasi mritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nayanam sochitum arhasi. Even if you think that soul is born with the body and dies with the body, still why do lament? Because anyways, he's over. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad aparihayarthe na tvam sochitum arhasi. One who is born is born is sure to die, and one who is dying is sure to take birth again. So you cannot control Arjun birth or death. Their karmas have exhausted, and so therefore they will die. If you do not, however, kill them, then you are not doing dharma, and you will incur sin for not doing dharma. So it's unavoidable. Like these people, their karma is exhausted, so they will be killed. If you don't kill them, they will be killed by some other means. But they have to die. So therefore, you cannot avoid what you are trying to avoid. You want them to live long, but they will not be able to live long. Their karmas are exhausted. And similarly, because they have accrued karmas in this life, they will again get bored in the next life. Therefore, don't lament. You are not doing anything. You are just doing your duty. Everything I have done. Later you will say, you just become an instrument. Everything the Supreme Lord is doing. But you don't refrain from your duty. Also understand it as unavoidable discharge of the duty. This is a golden age. This is the moment of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it will go on. If you don't take part, then you are not doing the dharma. You can take the credit. If you don't take credit, somebody else will take the credit. So we have to see that we should take the credit. अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तान्येव तत्र का परिदेवन paridevana is to lament. Why to lament? In the beginning everyone is created, everyone is unmanifested before the birth. Vyaktamadhani, they come to existence when they are like between birth to death. Avyakta nigrani, when people die, then again they become unmanifest. Then what is the need of lamentation? So here Lord Krishna is mixing both the philosophies, materialist and spiritualist. Like Avyaktadini can refer to like before the soul contacted this particular body. It was Avyakt. Soul body combination was not there. And now it is there. Soul body combination is there. After death, soul body combination will not remain. Why to lament? Even if you think from material point of view, when the body was born, the soul was born. It is there now, the soul. When the body will die, the soul will die. Why to lament? Either from a spiritual or material point of view, you should not lament. Non-believers in the existence of the soul are called atheists by followers of Vedic wisdom. Those who don't believe in soul, they are called atheists. Here Prabhupada makes an interesting point. Material body has no factual existence in relation to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. Two examples Srila Prabhupada is giving. Either like flying in the sky or sitting on chariot as a king. So this body is simply like a dream. It has no factual existence. In the sense that dream-like, in the sense not exactly a dream, but there are some differences between our current existence in a dream. Dream happens haphazardly. It's not controlled by dream. Anything can come up in the dream. Whereas in the present life, when we are awake, the events flow due to karma. One by one another, due to your past karma, the events follow. And in dream, like it's for a short duration. Every day dream changes, but like it's a little long dream, maybe 100 years to the max, 50, 100, 75, whichever jubilee you want to celebrate, silver, gold, and platinum. So, it's a dream in the sense that this soul and body combination was not there before your birth, and this soul body combination will not remain after your death. So therefore, these things have not to be taken very serious. Like in a dream, you fly in a sky, but you cannot fly in the sky when you are awake. Similarly, you may see that you are sitting on a chariot, you are a king. Somebody may see his head cut off from the body, he can see a head. How is it possible? If he can see his head, that means he has eyes. That means, but these kind of things may come up in the dream. Similarly, this whole existence is actually like a dream. What is our main problem? Our main problem is the mind is fueled by imaginations. So many imaginations fuel the mind, and therefore that is the fuel for running this material existence. Nitya Baddha means eternally his mind is in imaginations. So dear devotees, that's a part of the life. Cut down the mind's imagination. Don't do things. Don't do things in such a way, or don't approach those things which fuel the imaginations. It is actually imagination world where we are living. Mind is simply imagining so many pleasures. Pleasures do not exist in reality. It's only a great imagination which the mind creates. Advertisement industry know this very well, and therefore they simply try to fuel the imaginations. Oh, you just buy this, whatever their product is. and you'll be so happy. So therefore they show bright faces because they know that the moment they capture the imagination, the mind becomes irresistible. On the other hand, like earlier, credit cards were not there. Even if somebody is fascinated by some product, he's not having credit card currently, he's not having money, he can't buy. So he comes home, he does not buy, and he forgets it. He never buys it again. But nowadays, they are so big cheaters that they have brought all these concepts of credit card so that even if you don't have money, as soon as your imagination is fueled, you will spend the money. Very tricky word. So we'll discuss it in more detail come how the mind is cheating us with severe imagination later in the chapter. It will come, but suffice to say here is that please take these words of the founder Acharya seriously. Material body has no factual existence. It is simply in a dream state. We are simply imagining. A whole pleasure is in imagination. There is all pleasure is there before you actually get the thing. So much imagination is there. So much imagination. As soon as you get the product, any material product, then after that this is going to be lamentation. Yeah. So as devotees, we have to be careful not to identify too much with the mind because it will it will totally mm, mm, distort our thinking. The Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of the non-existence of the material body. We are encouraged to be self-realized by understanding that the material body is non-existent. So therefore, and Vedic culture was not so much like. Don't think that the people in the early times they did not know how to fly aeroplanes or they could not invent machines. They could not exploit petroleum like that. It's not like that. They thought that all these things are simply waste of time. They will steal our valuable time, which we can utilize for practicing Krishna consciousness. Shri Prabhupada is giving an example. Earlier, they thought we were very primitive. So, primitive means like his job is 10 steps away from his home. Just has to go to the field and he does the job. Nowadays, we have become advanced. So, we have brought these aeroplanes and cars. Prabhupada says now we have to sometimes people for job they fly to different cities. It takes around 6 hours. I myself have seen many people in Pune they go to Mumbai for job and do mm, like to and fro in the morning and the night. So 6 hours it takes to go to the job, and the job is 9 to 5, which is not nowadays it's 9 to 9. Anyways, even if you consider 9 to 5, 6 hours, 12 hours in the job, and then they fly back again 6 hours. So six, almost 18 hours are gone, and they come back home and they sleep for 3 hours. And the end result is that when son is uh, 4 or 5 years old, he asked the mother, "Who is the person sleeping there?" On Sunday, he asked, "Who is this mother? Who is this person?" She, he's your father. Because when the fellow went for job, the son was sleeping. Early morning, he left. And when he came back late night, the son was sleeping. So all 6 days, he never saw his son. On the day of Sunday, the son is saying that somebody is recovering from sleep. So he's asking, who is this person? So do you think this culture is very advanced? That the son has to now see the father on Sundays and he's asking the mother, who is this fellow? By the way, so that's our civilization, modern civilization. But Vedic civilization encourages self-reliance to the basis of the non-existence of the material body. That means we are not too much into this improving, just simply just keeping on improving material life or luxuries at the cost of necessities. Spiritual life is not luxury; it's a necessity. It's your placement in the future life. It's a very serious thing. It's not luxury, but they have cut down on necessities at the cost of luxuries in present life. Therefore, the present civilization, Prabhupada sometimes call it condemned, sometimes foolish. So many rascal civilizations sometimes Prabhupada called demons, demoniac people. So many adjectives Prabhupada uses, all for the same reason. He's not like anti some like envy towards some particular person, but against the entire society because it's a brainless society without the Brahmanas. Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of the non-existence of the material body. So the Vedic civilization is focused more on the development of the soul, and the bodily necessities have to be kept to bare minimum without wasting much of the time. If you could be a millionaire, we don't discourage you. Please go ahead. Like you work whatever without very special extra endeavors, 8 hours, let us say 10 hours, and you become a billionaire in that. We have absolutely no problem with that. But just to become a billionaire, just to get like little 2,000 rupees more, 5,000 rupees more, you have spent all your time working 16 hours, two shifts, then that's foolishness. So you be satisfied with whatever you get, and some optimal work. We need not over exert ourselves to show we are very superior. Like I have a big car, I have a big home, I'm no less, or we need not try to prove ourselves in this world. Rather, we are here to improve ourselves, to improve our um, mm, present status of the soul engaged in the material body. So, birth is a combination of the Atma with the previously non-existing senses and body. Death means separation of Atma from the body with senses. The Lord is saying here, even if you decline to fight, these people will die because their karma will exhaust. But you have deviated from duty. You have not done your dharma. Although you say that you are a dharmic person, in the first chapter, Arjuna was saying, I am dharmic. Krishna, this Artha Shastra, this, this, this Rajniti, this Niti Shastra, they say that, you can kill aggressor, but I am a dharmic person, I cannot kill this person. I want to be dharmic. So the whole teaching the Lord is giving that you are dharmic and therefore you are a fool. Because this knowledge is not for dharmic people. We are, ये धर्म नहीं है ये. It is adhyatma. Lord is telling there are things beyond dharma. Dharma means some limited conception here in this word meaning. But the Gyan Shastras or the Bhakti Shastras are even greater than Dharma Shastra. The whole Gita is targeted toward dharmic people. It is not for adharmis. First one becomes a dharmic person, and then that is injected that you are a fool. You should follow the adhyatma. You have to follow bhakti. This Lord is trying to explain to him. That's your real dharma. It's real dharma. Yan manase dhruvam lokam adhruvam va shobhayam sarvata hi sochasteen snehad anyatra mohaja. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was lamenting for Dhritarashtra when Dhritarashtra went to home by the severe, vigorous preaching of Vidura. So that time Narad Muni says to Yudhishthira Maharaj, either you consider that soul is eternal, or you consider material body will die, or everything will merge in the Brahman, or everything is combination of spirit and matter. Feelings of separation are only due to illusion. Feeling of separation for people, combination of body and soul are only due to illusory affection. So your lamentation for Dhritarashtra is useless. Just stop chasing after him. He will go to his destination. That which is not existent in the beginning and end also does not exist even in the middle. The person who is woken up does not lament because of separation from those illusion. Like you saw a dream, it was very horrible. The ghost was chasing you. And then when you ran from one pool to another, then the dog started chasing you. And then you were very fearful. And somehow you got up. So there is neither a ghost, neither the dog. Although you are sweating. So then after some time you just, okay, it's okay. Now try to understand the verse which is coming. This verse is called the amazing verse. And so it's not so easy to understand the verse also. Let's try to understand the verse. Ascharyavat paschati kaschidinam ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanya ascharyavat chainamanyam shrunoti shrutva penam vedan chaiva kaschid. Ascharya, Ascharya, Ascharya. 3 times Ashcharya is mentioned in this verse, and therefore the fourth time is implied. Ashcharya means amazing. This verse is called the amazing soul or the amazing whatever. So it's an amazing verse, and let's try to see what amazement here is. So when Lord Krishna told all these things to Arjuna, he asked, "Hey, Krishna, what amazing thing you are describing? You are saying the soul is eternal, soul does not die, does not grow old, none of my weapons can kill the soul, it is all happy, and the soul which is within me, the soul which is within Duryodhan, soul which is within my son, these animals, trees, plants, they are of same quality. So you are describing something very extraordinary. And still, it is more amazing that Krishna, even after so much description you are giving, I'm not able to understand it at all. So, in order to pacify Arjuna, Lord Krishna speaks these words. Yes, my dears, the soul's understanding is amazing. It's not so easy to understand the soul. Ascharyavat paschati kaschidena. Somebody sees the soul like paschati. He sees the soul with amazement. My God, so amazing soul. The same size soul is present in a giant elephant, giant blue whale, or if Prabhupada would there, he would say Timangala. And the same soul is present in a very small microbe. The potency of the soul is same. Soul is present in somebody very aggressive, masculine person. The same soul is present in someone very feminine, very shy person. Soul takes on sometimes the male gender, sometimes the female gender, but it's the same. It's so amazing. And Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva channi. So somebody sees the soul as amazing. Somebody describes the soul as amazing. Somebody hears about the soul as amazing. And amazing enough, there are some who can not Vedanachaya, cannot understand the soul even after saying, even after hearing, even after speaking. They cannot understand at all. It is also an Ashcharya. They see the soul with amazement. Some see the soul as amazement. Some speak of the soul as amazement. Some hear about the soul as amazement. And strange enough, those who see the soul as amazing, those who hear about the soul as amazing, those who speak about the soul as amazing, all these three people cannot understand him at all. That's the greatest amazement. Therefore, this verse is amazing. Really, I don't know whether you are able to make the sense, but let's try a little more. There's something more, not yet over. Some look on the soul. Soul means the combination of the soul and body as amazing. Some describe him as amazing. Some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. So, because Gita is called Gita Upanishads, many passages in the Gita, they have corroboration with the Upanishads. So, there is a verse from Katha Upanishad. शरणायापि बहुभिर्यो न लभ्यः श्रवणतोऽपि बहवो यं न विद्युः आश्चर्यवक्ता कुशलोस्य लब्धा आश्चर्यज्ञाता कुशलानुशिष्टः. Atma is not the subject of hearing for many. That means many people are not qualified to hear about the soul. To understand about the soul requires some qualification. That is the point. Okay, keep in mind. Or even if one person hears from many sources, he can also not very easily understand the soul. Many people are not qualified, or even one person endeavors from various angles is not able to understand. Shravanatopi bahavo yam na vidyu. Even if many persons hear about the soul, they still don't know it. Many cannot understand. Even if somebody hears, he cannot understand. One who speaks about the Atma, that person is very rare. One who can describe it with kushalta, with great expertise, one who can describe it perfectly, that speaker is very rare. It's amazing to find a perfect speaker who can explain about the soul very perfectly. I am a useless speaker, so you will not be able to understand the science of the soul correctly because the Vedas say that it requires a very kushal speaker, very amazing speaker. So even if you're not understanding, don't think that you are unqualified, but I'm unqualified to explain to you the science of the soul. Ascharyo gyata kusalan sishtaha. And one who knows it thoroughly, even if the teacher is skillful, even a person, even if he understands it from a skillful teacher, like the Prabhupada is telling the science of the soul, practically you will find in every lecture you are not this body. So many times you have to speak. Still after that we do the same. We don't act in the level of the soul. Like Prabhupada was giving one lecture in some place, I think Norway or Netherlands, somewhere it was, very off country. And he was saying, you are not the body, you are the soul. And after that, Prabhupada said, you all are looking like pigs because you all are eating pigs. Therefore, you have become like pigs, and therefore you are pigs. So then one person he became very offended. We are pigs. So he got up. So many, how dare you call us pigs? So he was saying that. So Prabhupada said, have you forgotten what I told you just some time back? I told you are not the body. So even though we may like hear so many times about the soul, still if somebody calls it, you are stupid, you are black, you are whatever material attribute somebody gives us, immediately become very offended. How can you call me? All those these are the bodily attributes. But that's what the dear devotee this verse is pointing to. It's Ascharya. Even if somebody can understand it, understand it's Ascharya. Prabhupada is giving here some qualification. Who can understand? Those who have pure fund of knowledge. That means who have not studied the scriptures day in and day out. They have not taken trouble to give time to spiritual knowledge, to attend lectures. They are not qualified to understand the soul. So you are fortunate people. You are giving time to attend this Bhakti Shastri, so you may understand something about the soul. Other people who are not giving time to Bhakti Shastri, they are not, they will not be able to understand. And persons who are not austere, that is different kinds of austerity are mentioned: austerity of the body, austerity of the speech, austerity of the mind. So those who are not austere, they will not be able to understand anything about the soul, even though it is explained by the greatest authority who imparted lessons even to Brahma. So authority may be very perfect, but there is a qualification of the student who is trying to understand the science of the soul. It is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the super soul, the atomic soul, their respective functions and relationships, and all the major and minor details. So, one off point here is that Prabhupada is using here the word man, although this will refer to both man and woman. There is nothing like gender discrimination. But when Prabhupada used the language that time, man was used for both men and women that time in the old English. Therefore, sometimes the Prabhupada's English causes confusion. People, so like some statements like man is the maker of his destiny. This statement, although it is used in a masculine sense, but it does not exclude women. Women are also maker of the destiny. That's old English. Nowadays, because the topic is very sensitive, therefore we use like man or woman. But these are not like some discrimination. This is to refer to both. Soul is neither having male or female gender. Soul is transcendental to even male or female. It's very difficult to find a man. And similarly, the Prabhupada statements you might have heard, the woman like to be raped. So that time the meaning of rape was different from what it is used now. Therefore, there are some differences due to the uses or the meaning of the words which were used in different times. Do not be bewildered by the mere words. One important thing when we are studying the scriptures is to understand that words are not logged in the dictionary. The meaning of the word is not logged, it's not a permanent logged in the dictionary. You just try to understand this verse. Tarko pratishto shrutoyo vivinna nasao rishir yasya matam na binna धर्मस्य तत्वम निहिता गुहाया महाजनो येन गतः सपंथा. तर्को प्रतिष्ठो श्रुतयो भिन्न. Different scriptures, different commentators come up with different understanding. Tarko pratishto. Every scripture also seems to say different things. Tarko pratishto shrutoyo vibhinna. And its rishi means his opinion should differ from others. That's the standard definition of a rishi. Nasha or rishi yasya matam na bhinna. If he's not having separate philosophy, then he's not bona fide. Just like in PhD, we say, you have to discover something new. Otherwise, you are not bona fide PhD. So, something similar like that. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya mahajano yena gata sapant. You should hear the meaning of the words from the Mahajanas. That is the meaning. Otherwise, simply by using dictionary, anyone could understand Gita or any Vedic scripture. But the point here is the meaning of the words. It's not totally independent. You cannot make any meaning out of any word, but it's context sensitive. According to the context where the word is used, the word gets a particular meaning. Somebody may construe some of meaning from very like Ardha Kukut Nyaya. We will discuss this later on when Karmanyavadhikaraste comes. But somebody may construe some very different meaning from the original intended meaning. So always meaning is dependent on the context. How to understand it? If you find any shloka, see the shloka before it, read the shloka after it, and then you can try to come to a meaning. Or let's say, all the shlokas which came in the chapter before this verse, all the shlokas which came in the chapter after this verse, and then we have to try to understand what this verse exactly means. You cannot take a word out of context and using dictionary, you come out with something very separate meaning of the whole thing. Yeah. Therefore, the Mahajanas are so important. Therefore, it is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the super soul, because not everyone gets to meet with the Mahajanas. Yeah. It's still more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from the knowledge of the soul. Many may know also, somebody can understand it properly. Now I understand the soul. So now my goal is to go to heaven. Because I'll do good karma and I want to enjoy in this world. I know that I will not die. So let me get placed in heaven. So he has not derived full benefit from the knowledge of the soul. Therefore, even after those who know the science. So after this section also, after verse 30, Krishna will progressively describe the benefits of the science of the soul in different levels. So Prabhupada directly, because his Bhakti Vedanta is pointing to the full benefit Prabhupada wants to give. So it's more difficult to find a man who has actually derived full benefit from the knowledge of the soul. So by text 30, Arjuna would have understood the science of the soul very nicely. And after that, Krishna will successively start describing the more and more deeper understanding, or the more and more deeper benefits which you can get from the science of the soul. But if somehow or other one is able to understand the subject matter of soul, one's life is successful. Hare Krishna. Life is not successful when one gets very good dream job or a dream girl or dream home. Life is successful when we successfully understand the science of the soul. Okay? Yes. But so Prabhupada is saying that easiest possible to understand is to accept the statements of Gita. But it also requires a great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in the previous ones, before one is able to accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Now, like you need to have sufficient penance, that is tapasya, and sacrifice, that is yajna. Either you can have in the present life or in the previous life. The people like Radhesham Prabhu. So it's obvious that in the previous life they have done a lot of sacrifices and penances. So very easily they can walk on the spiritual path. Even if we have not done in the previous life, so let's start now. Let's start now. Sacrifice you're already doing, chanting Hare Krishna. That's sacrifice. And penance is the four regulative principles. Tapasya, following the four regulative principles grossly and also with the words and the mind subtly as well. Try to do homework, try to find out what these four regulative principles are, and we follow to the details. And then we will be qualified to understand the science of the soul. It's not that simply you just come to attend the lecture and whole 22 hours you are just like a running with the passion, yeah. Krishna can, however, be known as such by the causeless mercy of the pure devotee and by no other way. So Ashcharya Prabhupada is pointing out that it's like it requires a homework to understand the soul. Even though we have discussed in so much detail, even though I am speaking, neither you or I will understand if we don't, if we our penances and austerities, sacrifices are not sufficient. Therefore, it's Ashcharya. Yeah. So now this Ashcharya can be used in three ways. Like I see soul. So amazement can be placed in three places. Either the soul is amazing, or I am amazing, or that my seeing is amazing. I see amazing soul. I am amazing, therefore I see the soul. I see the soul with amazement. So acharyas have told that this Ashcharya can refer either to the subject, to the object, or to the verb. I hope you are getting. It's like poetic license. You can like the poetry is made in such a way that you can derive many meanings out. Therefore, poetry is little different from the prose. Prose or the like statements, they have like one meaning, but poetry can have many meaning. Just like sometimes, and the traveler goes on the weary road. Weary means tired. The traveler is going on the tired road. Road is never tired. The traveler is tired. But it's like a poetic, transfer effect. The traveler goes on the weary road. so so sometimes the road also is like referred to as. So so people, the soul is very amazing. We discussed how the soul is amazing, Mm, uh, mm, mm, it's so small, it's still spread all over the body. All the soul had relation with so many bodies. I was sometimes man, woman, son, father, mother, sister, every relation I have had, still the soul is totally untouched. Doesn't get contaminated with any of these bodies. Sometimes it accepts male personality, sometimes female, and adjusts. And so much contradictory qualities the soul is having. And so therefore it is astonishing to learn the science of the soul. And mm, the person, so now if you apply to the person who is understanding the soul, he is also amazing. Amazing means, you know, very rare people can understand the soul. Very rare people can describe it. Very rare can see the soul. They are also, it's amazing to find a person who can see the soul. And awfully, it's amazing that so many people don't know about the soul. Even after hearing, even after saying, even after speaking, cannot understand him. So there's one Ashcharya verse also told in the Mahabharata. You have heard about it still, no? So this is a Yaksha Yudhishthir Samvad, and the Yaksha asked Yudhishthir, what's the amazing thing? The Yudhishthir answered that, ahani ahani bhutani gachanti hayamalayam sheshah sthavarichanti kim ascharya pada. Daily all over the universe, every time and every place, in the past, in the present, in the future, and in all countries. Gachanti Hayamalayam. So many people are going to, they are going to die. But those who are still alive, Shesha, those who have not died, they feel I am exceptional. I will not die. They feel like that. I am exceptional. Or they may say, if you ask them, will want to die? So I will also die. But they live life as if they are not going to die. They live like king size. Their plans are never fulfilled. Oji, the job which I've got now, my life is not stable. I need to little bit more stable my life. I am looking for a new job. So whole life they are planning only for material things and they are living as if they will never die. So Guruji, I will become serious after I get this new job. 8 years have passed after passing out. Still, he is not seen around in any camp. Not amazing person. He is not able to see. Nobody can hear him. Nobody can describe him. He's absent from all the camp, and still, it's amazing that he's still in his false hope that I can stabilize my material life. Yes, but he does not know that he can die next day. Next, not even next day. He can die after 5 minutes. But somehow the Maya deludes him. So, like sometimes in movie you see, the hero is and then the villain is there. Hero is running after the villain, and villain is having 10 gunmen, and all of them are shooting at the hero. But strange, none of the bullets, are hitting the hero somehow or other. Sometimes the bullet comes in slow motion and then he goes past the bullet and somehow he just catches the villain and then he beats the villain down. But that's nice in a movie. But when it happens in real life, all around me, so many people are dying. Still, I have the exception, amazing hope that I will not die. My life will continue. I'll at least live 100 years. I have some insurance, so that's amazing, awfully amazing that we have kept the exception for ourselves. It won't happen to me. All around, so many devotees are getting so many problems. Still, I feel I will not be the one. I will be the exception. So when the some bomb is dropping on Bangladesh, on Israel, on Iran, Syria, we feel, oh yeah, they have let bomb drop there. But we never realized that bomb may drop in Kanpur also. That's amazing. So like that. So we should keep our exceptional hope as an exception, that this cannot happen at all, that I will live long. We should keep exceptional exceptional expectation that I will not die. We should keep it an exception. I can also die. Kim Ashcharya, therefore Yudhishthir says, those who are still alive, they are simply dwelling on the material conception of life. They think, they desire to expand their material life more and more, and that's also Ashcharya. So the people who are describing the soul are the amazing, and the people and the soul is amazing, and the description of the soul is amazing. My Lord, amazing thing. Amazing it is that okay, yeah, amazing also word is hard to understand. Okay, let us see from some scriptures how the soul understanding is really amazing. So there is a passage in the Chandogya Upanishad. There's the discussion between one time. Okay, how do I get it? Yeah. So you can see this figure. Yeah. So one time, what happened is Indra and Virochan. So one time, Brahmaji announced that now if one can conquer the entire world if he knows the science of the soul who is so amazing, and soul who is very different from everyone and everything. It's eternal, and knowing the soul, one will become victorious over all over the universe, and one will be eternally happy. So like that, Prajapati announced Brahmaji. So then there were two people, the demigods sent Indra, and the demons they sent Virochan, Brahmaji, to find out that who is this soul, and so that if you learn about the soul, then uh, we can gain victory over all over the universe, and we can become happy eternal. So these people they didn't talk with each other. That Indra did not tell Virochan that I am going to meet Brahma. Neither Virochan said that I am told Indra that I am. So both disguised went to Brahma, and when they arrived, but they arrived simultaneously. So the Brahma asked that why have you come? So Virochan is the leader of the demons, and Indra is the leader of the demigods. So both of them said that Virochan said, "We have come to know about the soul. You made an announcement in the universe that if one understands the soul, he will become victorious all over the universe. Naturally, we want to become victorious, and we want to become happy forever. So you please tell us about the soul." So Brahma told that no. First, both of you go and do 100 years of brahmacharya, strict austerity. Then you will be qualified to hear about the soul. Okay, both of them went. So they came after 100 years. Then Brahma said, "What you see with your eyes, he is the soul." So then Virochan asked, "Is it like we see with our eyes many things, but ourselves we see using the help of mirror or in the water? Is that the soul?" So Brahma said, "Yes." So you please go and see. What do you see? So both of them went, and they saw in the mirror. So they had, because they had practiced 100 years penance, so they came back and Brahma asked, "What did you see?" They said, "We saw only nails and hair, like overgrown hair and nails." So Brahma said, "You've cut your hairs, nails, and you dress very gorgeously, excellent clothes, and then you see and come back to report to me. What did you see?" Both went them, and then they dressed nicely and they came back. And then Brahma said, "What did you see?" They said that we saw a very beautiful person, beautifully dressed. Brahma said, "Yes, that is the soul." And if somebody does not understand this science properly and describes it imperfectly, he will meet ruination. Somehow or other, Virochan could not understand this warning. So he went to the demons, and said, "We are the body, and to give highest happiness in the body, we are the soul. This body is the soul. Give highest happiness into the body is the goal of life. So let us do all our continue our demonic activities just to promote or like the existence of the body. Therefore, you'll find all the demons, whosoever he is, he will only ask for one thing, that is to make me eternal, or to make my body plus soul combination eternal. Be it Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, anyone, they will somehow or other make some policies to ask this. They are demonic people, so they don't understand, think that the body is soul. But Indra, he went, he had some doubt. How can he say? He said the soul is unchangeable. So right now I am seeing a very beautiful person. Let us say somebody is blind. He is not beautiful. How can he be happy? So he again went back to the Brahma. Virochan didn't go back. He just, so they see the materialists, they see very superficially on the bodily level. But those who are spiritualists, Indra, he went back again. He said, "I don't believe what you say, because somebody is blind, somebody is crippled. How he can like be perfect? How can be fully happy?" So Brahma said, "Yes, there is something more, but you go back again, follow 32 years more brahmacharya, or do austerity for 30 years, then I will do." So again he went back, 32 years austerity, then he came back. Then Brahma said, "What you see in your dreams, that is the soul." So Indra went back. Then he started thinking, "Arey, but you know, because Brahma told, when one is blind, but the in dream he is not blind. Therefore, whatever defects are in the body, that does not apply in the dream. So whatever you see in the dream, that is soul." So he went back what he thought. But in dream, sometimes I become human, I become animal. He said that soul is eternal, unchanging. How is it possible? Again he came back. I feel you are not telling me the true thing, because what I see in dream is constantly changing. Sometimes I am lamenting also in dream. Somebody's ghost is chasing me. But you said soul is all blissful. So in dream, that is not the soul. Brahma said, yes, you have understood. But I want you to again perform austerity. You do 32 years more austerity, then I will tell you about the soul. So he again went, he did 32 years austerity. Again he came back and asked. So Brahma said, what you see in your dreamless sleep, that is the soul. So again he went, then he started thinking, and in dreamless sleep, I don't see anything at all. How is it that I cannot see only anything? So he came back, my dear, what is that in the dreamless sleep? I think you are telling the wrong conclusion. Please tell me about this. Then Brahma said, I will tell you, but you do 5 more years of austerity. So again, he did 5 more years austerity. And then finally, Lord Brahma told him the science of the soul. That so the first point he told about that what is the Jagrati stage. So Jagrati means the consciousness of the soul is rooted, R-O-U-T-E-D, rooted through the subtle body, through the gross body, and that's Jagrati. That's what demons understand. That yes, Jagrati state they understand I am the soul. Then Brahma gave second explanation. When in the dream state, Swapnaha, the soul's consciousness is rooted out through the subtle body, but not through the gross body. So that was Swapna stage. So we dream. And the third stage was Brahmaji told him about the Sushupti. The consciousness of the soul is neither rooted through the subtle or the gross. So it's not rooted anywhere. It's called dreamless sleep, that your subtle body is also resting. Dreams, when you are getting, your gross body is resting. Therefore, even if you get sleep dreams, you are not like your mind is paining because your mind could not get rest. Deep sleep is recommended. But actually, the soul is manifested. That's called the Turya or the Samadhi. When the consciousness of the soul is rooted through the spiritual realm. That is what Lord Brahma explained to Indra. And that is amazing to find a person like Indra who can truly understand that how the consciousness of the soul can be rooted through the spiritual strata. And demons like Virochan, those in the bodily concept of life, those who are clicking selfies every now and then, they are demons and they cannot understand the science of the soul at all. Those who are using social media and clicking selfie, they are demons. So yeah, it's Ashcharya. So only one word I am trying to explain, that is Ashcharya. It's rare to find a person. Okay, let's go ahead. So this now this section is concluded, and it is also Ashcharya that people they get caught up so much by attachments of this world and totally forget about the soul. Like it's talked about that the previous life of Bill Mangal Thakur. Attachments are blinding. He forgot he was who he was, and they are binding. He was totally addicted. It's also amazing. Like one person is totally detached, another person is totally attached. It's the same soul within both of them. So the Krishna concludes this section. Dehi Nityavad. Oh my Lord. Are Purak. It's 8 o'clock. Whole thing went in amazement. It's also amazing. The whole class went in one shloka. Anyways, I'm very sorry that 7:56 now. Time's over. So if you want to ask any question, you can ask. I just lost track of time because you are amazing. Yeah, any question anyone wants to ask? Yes, Umang Prabhu wants to raise hands.
Puji, in this sloka, Puji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
In this sloka, Puji, in the last line, it mentioned that the easiest process of for understanding the subject matter of self-power is to accept the statement of Bhagavad Gita. So, Puji, is there any other process than that which is compared with that easiest process?
No, actually, because the soul is a spiritual personality, therefore, none of our either Pratyaksh or Anman Pran can ever reach the soul. That is the first here. You cannot see with the eyes, you cannot understand with the mind, neither with the intellect, nor with the ego, because the soul is beyond all this. You only need scriptures because the Lord, Lord is giving us the mercy. When we follow the scriptures, we discuss, no, acharyas are explaining, we need austerity. Like Indra also performed so much austerity. Somebody may ask, why should I follow brahmacharya? No, That's the qualification for understanding the science of the soul. That's penance and sacrifice are required. Even like one who is Urdu rehta one does not is able to like uh, practice brahmacharya. Urdu rehta he is qualified to hear Ras Leela. It's a spiritual topic. Till we are not qualified, then we have to become qualified. So therefore, the Lord says that beyond the scope of the Shruti or the Vedic literatures, there is no scope of understanding soul because it's totally anti-material. Like the scientists also, they say no, there is like, let us say 5% matter and there is 95% antimatter. And we ask them, my dear sir, what is that? No, that is something which is not matter. Soul cannot be burned, soul cannot be cut, soul cannot be moistured. But what it is, like this section was explaining the soul through the Naiti process. But when one gets the mercy of the Lord, then he can understand something about the soul. Something about the soul. Yeah. Okay. Okay. One more devotee is asking in the chat. That is Mohit Prabhu. Prabhuji, how to convert knowledge into realization? Although we are hearing about spiritual life, but information application gap is very wide. But to how to get out from imagination game, it is very troublesome. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. Imagination game is very troublesome. That's a fact. So realization means we are mm, that like there is a reality, and the ability to take reality as reality means realization. Realization is above experience. Realization is above information. Like cigarette smokers, they read on the packet, smoking is injurious to health, but they don't realize it. So they are not realized. They cannot process the information. Similarly, experience. Some people get the experience. Like so the doctors, they have studied about the diseases for 5 years, at least MBBS. If they do MD also, then they do PhD also in that. And daily they are meeting so many patients who are diseased. So, like from this point of view, like doctors should be self-realized. They should understand this material is a miserable place. But even after experiencing, they themselves might get sick. They are handling daily patients who are sick. They have read about it so much. So they have experience also. Still, they cannot come to the place that is material what is dukhalem. Why? Because what they make the sense out of the experience. They think that experience means okay, yeah, disease. There are diseases, but overall, I am making money out of it. People are coming to me for solving their disease, but I am getting money. My house has become big. I have a big car. I have a good prestige in society. So therefore, there are some faults with the process. There is some disease, but there is a lot of happiness also. So doctors, it's amazing that they don't come to the spiritual platform even after knowing. So what to do now, Prabhu? So what we have to do is we have to, as Krishna himself mentioned, that we need to know from the Vedic scriptures, and you now focus on your practice, how your practice is going on. So, like how much austere we are, or how much sacrifice we are doing. Can I increase it? So, like you see the lives of great souls, Jayapatak Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, how they're living life. And slowly, we have to take our baby steps and come to that platform. How people like Radhe Shyam are going on. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you. Anyways, time is up. And so those who want to leave, they can leave. And Sashank Guru is raising hand. Yes, Sashank Guru.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. The explanation was also amazing. And I just wanted to ask Prabhuji about the last slide you have shared, the last thing. What is the difference between Jagriti, Susupti, Swapna? I was not able to understand.
As you're not able to understand. Okay, let me explain you again. So it's like, so see, Prabhu, we have, we have two bodies, right? We are a soul and we have two bodies, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Huh. So when the soul's consciousness comes out through the subtle body and through the gross body. Okay? Soul's consciousness came out through the subtle body, then through the gross body. That is called what you are in the stage right now. That's called Jagrati. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Fine. This is clear. When you are sleeping, your eyes are not seeing.
Yes, Prabhu.
Correct? When you are sleeping, your eyes, ears, these senses are not active. Still, you are seeing something.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
So that seeing is happening in the subtle body.
Understand. Yes, Prabhu.
So when the soul's consciousness comes out through the subtle body, that is called Swapna. Okay?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
There are times when you are sleeping and you don't see any dreams, you don't know anything. You are just like you just get up and oh, so much time has passed, 6 hours have passed. You just don't know what happened.
Yes, Prabhu.
So that is the time when soul's consciousness is not rooted out either through the subtle body or through the gross body. That's called Shushupti, deep sleep. Okay?
Yes,
And
Prabhu.
Turiya, you have no experience because it's in the spiritual realm.
Yes. Thank you,
Okay?
Prabhu. Understood.
Yeah, thank you. So, devotees who want to leave, they can leave. The time is already up. And those who want to ask some questions, they can stay. One devotee, Mayank Mani, is asking, Prabhuji, in which stage of 9 stage bhakti is except Madhu Kamani can one comes to complete relation of the soul? Prabhu, Mayank Mani, Prabhu, it's like Prabhupada says in one place that self-realization and God realization go together. Have you heard this line? Self-realization and God realization go together. What does it mean? You have a mirror in front of you. You can see yourself in the mirror when the sun rises in the sky. Sun will rise in the sky. Sun will throw the light on you and the mirror, and you can see the sun and yourself. So the impersonalists, they know something about the soul, but they not understand is complete because the soul is a part and parcel of the Lord. Jiver Sarubhoy Krishna Nitya Das. Unless you see the boss, how can you understand that you are Das? So therefore, when you completely understand the Lord, then only you can completely understand the soul as well. Both will go together. These are not two different things. The Mayavadis separate the two. They are illusion. It's also amazing that that was also part of the amazing that some people, think that the soul dies with the body dies. Some people think that soul all merging, they all the soul, like it's one uniform thing. And it's amazing to find people who know the actual difference between body and the soul and the super soul. That was amazing that different people get different understandings of the soul. Okay? Okay. So thank you. You can leave. Any other question anyone has?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vishwas Prabhu.
Prabhuji, one question I had like from Sushupti stage and from Swapna stage, one comes back to Jagrati stage. Like, so can someone who is like experiencing the Turiya stage, they can also come back to the Jagrati stage or Swapna Sushupti stage?
Okay. All these stages, Swapna, Sushupti or Jagruti, they are possible when the body is there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So if you have read Chaitanya Charitamrita, sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go in internal consciousness. Sometimes he will come to external consciousness. So what is internal consciousness and external consciousness? So like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one time he slipped from Gambhira. Although they had locked the room inside, Shankar Pandit was there. Still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was nowhere to be seen. And they were searching in the dead of the night, very wet, very wet. So they saw that he was like in the cow shed. All the cows were licking, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had become like all the bones had melted or they had collapsed. He was just like football. Oh, my lord, they drove away the cows and they somehow woke him up. And he got up. Said, hey, I was in the spiritual world. Why you brought me here again? I was with Krishna, he started crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting this. All is right there in our scriptures. Okay. So like Rup Goswami, he like meditating and so he was seeing that, Krishna is there and Radharani wanted some flowers from the tree. So Krishna lowered the tree. So she caught the hold of the branch. And when she caught hold of the branch, Krishna, removed his feet. And she was in the air. So when Rup Goswami was seeing this, he was laughing. But then one lame Vaishnava was passing from there and thought, hey, Rup Goswami is laughing at me. He's offending me. So he became offended. So both things are going on. Yeah. And you can also attain that. You should have Vishwas that you can also attain Turiya and these stages right now also. Just keep on practicing. Yeah. There is so much more. It's oceanic knowledge. We are just in a brim. You are actually like you have come from the spiritual world. It's like not even a moment has passed because it's eternal place. It's like you're just frozen there for fraction of a second, and as soon as you go back, then you start your pastime with the Lord. Yeah. It's very amazing how the soul comes in the material world, although he is having Leela. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Any other question? Devotees who want to leave, they can leave. Umangpur, you have more question? You are raising hand.
I have a follow-up question, Puri, on that same question, which I asked. Puri, in that I asked that in that it's written that easiest process of understanding subject matter of self, however, is to accept the statements of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by the greater authority. यहाँ पे accept word used हुआ. In the same purport, Puri, the previous paragraph it is mentioned, men with poor fund of knowledge and men who are not austere cannot understand the wonders of the individual atomic soul. यहाँ पे understand what is हुआ. तो Puri, is there any difference between understanding and accepting, Puri?
That's what I'm saying. The words are always context sensitive. Like they have to be used in context. It actually means that when one actually realizes the statements of the scriptures, when one actually realizes, it's not I believe in Lord. That's not sufficient. If you believe in Lord, if you believe in soul, then you have to act on spiritual platform. Then you have to act as the servant of the Lord. That's the meaning. So this is like don't go by the meaning. Try to understand the how the acharyas have presented it to us. Mahajano yen gata sapantha. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Any devotee? So thank you so much for your wonderful patience and time. I hope you all are very amazing people who are trying to understand this amazing soul. And even if you cannot understand it, please don't get frustrated. Please carry on this path which you have got, this chanting on the holy names and these regulative principles. Follow them very strictly because one day will come when you'll be able to understand. Right now, you are able to understand. Are you torturing living entities now? You're not planning to torture, right? Therefore, you are understanding that there is some sacred thing in them. Earlier, like I was when in 12th or 10th, I brought a cricket bat. It's like cricket bat, it roasts the mosquitoes. Um, so now you are purposefully avoiding to kill ants also. Anyone you want to help living entities, that is you are coming to the spiritual platform. Not fully, but up to some extent we have come. And we keep on practicing and finally that day will come when we start loving every living entity. Okay, carry on. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vansha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha. Udharam bhavamebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.